Hello, my name is Steve Gearhart, and this is the Unagi Observer. Thank you very much for coming today and watching. As you can tell, I still have a little bit of that cold flu that I suffered from last week, which hence the video for last week, so sorry about that. But we are 100 subscribers, and we've been at that for a little while now, so you guys get a digital taco, and I believe I'm going to have it ready for you next week. So next week, you guys get a digital taco. Awesome. Thank you so much for subscribing. That's really cool. It means a lot to me. So today we're going to talk about kind of keeping in the spirit of Halloween and talking about monsters and spirits and things like that. I want to talk a little bit about Oni or Oni. And Oni, if you know, they're those really grotesque looking demons, with the big humongous fangs, horns, wild hair, usually red skin, blue skin, green skin, usually red skin. Very, very muscular, usually wearing like a leopard or a tiger pelt. And they have one of those big clubs called Kanabo, I think it's called. And, it looks like a really big baseball bat with like a loop in one end and spikes at the other end, the bad end of it. And they're really not actually demons. They're actually ogres and trolls. So they're kind of the Asian equivalent of ogres and trolls. And the reason why I say Asian is because the Oni actually are kind of all over the place where you find Buddhism. A lot of people attribute the existence of Oni from the Hindu-Buddhism migration that went from India and China into the rest of Asia. So the Oni are considered to be actual ogres, and they are a sort of a guardian, sometimes evil, sometimes not, guards, servants, henchmen, whatever. And like I say, they come primarily from Buddhist and Hindu text, and Chinese look at them a certain way, Japanese look at them a certain way. For the Chinese, they are guardians of hell. So if you are reminiscent of the Yu Yu Hakusho anime series, Lord Yama, who's on vacation and his son takes over. The ogres in there are the Oni, Chinese Oni, that are taking care of hell. So just kind of give you a little bit of an anime reference to that. So the Oni were not always evil spirits. Oni is, the etymology of that is to hide. And so a lot of the Oni, or early stories of Oni, were that these trolls actually didn't want to be seen. And so they tried very hard to be invisible and hide behind things and stuff like that. And the reason why they got their evil reputation is because they would act on hell, the orders from hell, whether you believe the Chinese or the Japanese version of the Buddhist hell. And they would jump out and grab your soul. After you die, your soul is traveling to figure out where you're going to heaven, to hell, or you're being reincarnated. And if you're going to hell, then the Oni grab you and drag you to hell. So they have a sinister kind of context to it. And but in modern day Japan and in China, they are not so much looked at in a most sinister way, more of a guardian role. So they're a guardian of a castle, a guardian of a temple, a guardian of hell, guardians of heaven even. And you will see, particularly in Japan, in kind of festival parades, that there'll be Oni at the front. And the reason for that is to make sure that no harm and that there is good luck to the parade that's coming up behind them. So it's more of a traditional, almost good luck charm and guardian role nowadays. But it used to be that, of course, they were feared. If you're going to die, you don't want to go to hell. Nobody wants to go to hell, really. So what would happen in Japan is that there was this festival, Setsun Nobun, I think it's called. Sorry for my Japanese, it's really bad, and plus I have a cold. It's a spring festival where people would take roasted soybeans and throw them into their house and say something to the effect of, "Oni be gone, blessings come in." Throw the soybeans. And this was to chase any Oni that might be hiding in your house ready to grab your soul. So anyway, That's kind of what an oni is. Now, for China and India, obviously, they have a little bit different roles. In Hinduism, they have a greatly different role. They're considered to be rakshas, which are people with tiger heads or jaguar heads, and they eat people. They're very cannibalistic. Or in China, like I said, they're more guardians of hell, grabbers of souls, and things like that. In Japan, obviously, they're a little bit different, and they have a different role, more of a guardian role. But they look really, really horrific, and they make for really, really great masks, especially for no performances. Those are the performances with the face masks and the traditional music. So the oni, while they look really horrific, if you like the Japanese version, they're not as bad as they seem. Okay. And the other big difference between the Japanese and the other versions is that they are also considered yokai. And as we know, yokai in Japan are basically low-level spirits, demons, ghosts, things of that nature that really aren't in places of command in terms of demon legions or anything like that, but they're more along the lines of a pest more than anything else. So if you happen to see an oni, either throw some soybeans at it or say which way is hell and go in the opposite direction. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. It was kind of silly today, but that's what I have. Again, thank you everyone so much for getting us to 100 subscribers. I'm going to figure out what the next goal is going to be. And like I said, next week you guys are going to get a digital taco, and you guys are awesome for getting us to 100 subscribers. I know it doesn't seem like much in a day and age where most people can have them in the thousands and stuff, but like I said, this is a labor of love for me, something I just like to do. And so it means a lot to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are awesome. So if you want, one last thing, if you want, after this video, I'm going to talk about a certain issue that's happening on YouTube. And if you want to watch that, that's fine. If you don't, that's okay too. And it has to do with new YouTube policies that I'm not too crazy about. But other than that, thank you for subscribing. If you like this video, click the button down below, and let's keep getting some more subscribers. And so if you subscribe, please do. Would love it. Love it. Let's go for more. Let's go for more. All right. Thanks, guys. You are awesome. Okay, so I just wanted to mention something real quick about YouTube. So YouTube has been, they alter their algorithms and their policies a lot. And they are a company, and they are supposed to try to make money. Given, with how things have been going in America, particularly with just really sometimes awful things get onto YouTube, there's also an attempt to make sure that bad things don't go on there, and some of the bad things that go on there are things that have to deal with violence and stuff like that. So it's understandable that YouTube would want to A, protect its profits, and B, protect its viewership. The problem is that, of course, they're demonetizing videos. And what that means is that for channels that are not like mine, where I don't get paid to do this is just fun for me. But there are channels out there that rely on monetization to keep their channels going, and it's a source of income for people, for YouTubers, especially YouTubers like Wheezy Waiter or guys like him who have been around for a very long time. Where you're demonetized, that means that your videos are harder to find. They don't come up in search engines. So if you type for something, unless you know specifically what the video title is, it's really hard to find it. And the algorithms just make it that much harder. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's a series that I watch. I'm a historian, or amateur historian, and one of my interests is World War I. And there's a great channel called The Great War, and they have hundreds of videos where they talk about really cool stuff, and it's very educational, like really educational. If you have an interest in that, please give them some love, watch them. The problem was is that when they got demonetized and they were not given any warning, over 250 of their videos, just like that, were taken off search engines, algorithms, and things like that because of the content inside. Now, it's not that the content was so, damaging to young eyes. I mean, a 10-year-old could watch these videos, but it's about a violent subject. It's about World War One. So over 250 of their videos got demonetized instantly, and they're trying to figure out new ways to maintain their channel and being able to continue. And they may actually have to leave the YouTube platform, which means that unfortunately they may have to go to platforms where you may have to actually pay to watch it. And that wasn't their intention the entire time. I mean, that's not the point of YouTube, or was not the original point of YouTube. So it's really unfortunate. Now, how does that affect me? It doesn't. It doesn't insofar that I don't, like I said, I don't really make money off this. That was never really my intention when I revamped the channel. Originally it was, but then I just kind of gave it up because what I wanted to do and what YouTube would let me to do were two different things. And so I didn't mind being demonetized. And that's why I have so low views, is because I use things that, like music and things like that, I'm allowed to use them, but I just can't monetize the video. Again, that doesn't affect me personally. My income comes from something else. I have thought about, and still may do, a Patreon page where it's entirely up to you. If you like what I do, and if you want to give me money, if I set up a Patreon page, great. If you don't, great. It doesn't matter. It's just something to have. I'm not reliant on funding to do this channel. Thank God. Because if I were, then it would be really, really hard. How it does affect me is that I don't get to be able to reach out to as many people as I would like, because I know that there is a ton of anime otaku out there like myself, or a ton of people who are really interested in Asian history and culture, particularly Japan or South Korea or China or what have you, Vietnam. But it's not getting out there simply because some of my topics, or what I use, the information I use, media that I use, prevents it from entering into algorithms that would get it out there. So it's a little bit disappointing. I feel that we could have more. Does this mean I'm going off YouTube? Of course not. Of course not. I'm still here. I'm still going to do the videos. Like I said, this is a labor of love. I love doing it. And the fact that I have 100 subscribers right now is so awesome to me. It's not even funny. But it does make me think about, how can I do this? How can I get a greater spread of people to watch the videos, to impart from me to you knowledge, and then from you to me responding to that, because that's a fun part for me. One of the things I found doing the panels last year at Anymore, yes, I'm going to do panels again this year, was kind of the give and take. I really enjoyed that, and that's what I want to do with the videos, but it's a little hard with the way that YouTube does things. So what am I saying? Well, I've already said that I'm going to probably put up a Facebook page, a Spotify reflecting music that I use, and things of that nature. And but I think I am going to double up on another free platform. Once I figure out what that is, that will be part of what's in the links down below. So that in hopes of gaining more people to watch it, to interact, to learn, to have fun. That's the whole point for me, is to have fun. Okay, so that's a long-winded way of saying I'm not happy with the way YouTube does things. I'm